Hey guys, how you doing? This is EJ Uno coming back again, guys, with another great video, guys. We are going to be talking about the Note 10 Plus and why it is good in 2023, still to this day. I recently bought this phone back just because of the specs and how much I loved it and missed it. And why I choose this over buying a newer phone for like $800 and on up. And speaking on $800 on up, I was looking at the Motorola Edge Plus 2023. Beautiful design phone, but really doesn't have what I am looking for enough to pay $800 for that phone. Now, it has some good bells and whistles, but not all the bells and whistles. And knowing that you can just get on eBay, Amazon, and buy a phone like this for $250 and brand new, about $360, I mean, still a good phone. You know, it's a shame that Samsung didn't update this to Android 13 because it's a beautiful phone. Okay, so this is a little brief comparison between the two I'm talking about. The Motorola, yes, you get a 165 refresh rate, which is really, really good for 165 refresh rate, and you get an OLED screen. You still are stuck at a 1080p resolution, which is not, to my standards. If you're gonna pay $800, put it at a 1440. And speaking of 1440, you can get that on the Samsung Note 10 Plus. So you get a good resolution. Yes, you don't get the high refresh rate, but tell you the truth, the phone still moves so smoothly you really can't tell. And I have had Motorola phones that had 144 refresh rate versus a phone that had like 90 refresh rate. And you could see the comparison, but you really couldn't see it. I mean, you really couldn't. I don't know where they got that from, where it's just like, I mean, I don't know why they're boosting it up, because the phone doesn't seem any faster than a 90 or 60, refresh rate. This, in my opinion. Okay, the screen size of the phone. Once again, the Motorola you can get at a 6.67 inch phone versus the Samsung you can get at a 6.8 inch phone. Now, come on, like that it don't make any sense. Why would you, like, my thing is, it's like, I feel like Motorola is just being really cheap when it comes to things. Like, they're making it look nice, but then it's like basically they're giving you a Lamborghini car, but ain't putting the engine in there. That's basically what they're doing with their phones. The Motorola, I feel like if you're going to have an OLED screen, it's time Motorola starts switching up things and give their phones always on display. Stop giving it that little peak display where you can't change it, you can't do nothing. Do it like we talk, like Samsung, and give it an always on display, which you can get an always on display on the Samsung Note 10 Plus. So I'm just saying, the one thing from Motorola, you guys got to change up stuff. Stop, if you're going to put resolutions and good resolutions, and you ain't gonna put a nice display resolution on it, at least give it the bells and whistles and change up. Give you guys always on display. What's wrong with giving you guys this phone always on display? I mean, it doesn't. It's not a big thing to some people, but to me, I'd rather just have it always on display. I don't want to keep doing this with the phone and it comes on sometimes and it don't. Just give me always on display. Okay. Yes, the Motorola phone is going to come with Android 13, and that's probably all you're really going to get. It might come with Android 14. It's a hit or miss with Motorola phones. It really is. And now the Samsung, the last version that it got was Android 12. I did get a recent security patch, but I'm not sure what that was, but it's still good that it is getting a security patch. Okay, another $800 phone. Okay, now the Motorola, you're going to get 512 gigabytes of storage. Yes, that is nice. That is beautiful. But you're only going to get 8 gigabytes of RAM, which isn't good whatsoever at all, because 512 with 8 gigabytes of RAM, it's a lot of memory, but it should have 12 in order to keep up with the internal memory. And they don't have that, and it don't support SD card support. On the other hand, of the Samsung Note 10 line, still came out in 2019. You're going to get an SD card support. You can get the phone with 12 gigabytes of RAM with 256, or 12 gigabytes of RAM with 512 gigabytes of storage. You're still getting 12 gigabytes of RAM. You're getting 256 or 512, your choice, and you get to put an SD card support in there. Now, 800, 250, are we still deciding? You know what I'm saying? Okay, the camera wise, you're getting a 50 megapixel camera on it, 12 gigabytes, 12 megabytes telephoto, and 50 megapixel ultra wide. That's a good camera. It's nice. On the Motorola, you get a 12 megapixel, 12 megapixel telephoto, 60 megapixel ultra wide. Okay, and they both shoot. Okay, the Motorola, ooh, my words, are shooting in 8K, 4K, and 1080p, versus the Samsung is going to shoot in 4K. Yes, the camera is going to be good. It's 50 megapixels is good. It really is good. I would have rather they went down the whole line and made everything 50 megapixel, or just put 108 on one camera and put 50 and 12 on one, something like that. But once again, Motorola's cutting the corners again. Okay, on the front of it, which I think this is good for Motorola. I'm gonna give them there. They have a 60 megapixel camera on the front, which is really nice, versus the Samsung with a 1080p. Okay, I mean a 1080p, 10 megapixel. I'm sorry, guys. They both shoot at 4K. Both have stereo speakers and fingerprint in display, which is really nice. And they both have wired, wireless, and reverse charging. Oh, and I forgot to mention they both have IP68. So once again, I tell you that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, Motorola, the phone is nice. You're going to get some bells and whistles, but not for no $800. With, you know, the Samsung phone, minus the camera, because the camera, the pictures are still good when they come out from the Samsung Note 10 Plus. And other than that, that's the only thing I would be like, man, is the camera. I wish the camera was a little bit better. But I mean, come on. I mean, it still shoots good. It's still nice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still am very, very happy. And I'm very picky when it comes to my phones. Very happy about picking the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus over phones like that are like $800. And I really wasn't trying to smash a Motorola. I'm just so tired of Motorola like cutting corners when they have the ability to take control and do a good job with Motorola phones. Like, I like Motorola phones. I like how it's a comparison to like a Google phone, but it's cheaper than a Google phone. Even though Google phones do get cheaper over time, it's still a cheaper phone to get before that time comes, if that makes sense. But anyway, guys, I am about to end this video. And yes, you can get this phone like literally on eBay for like $250, if not less. Brand new for like $360. Or you can go to Amazon. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, guys, I'm about to end this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Appreciate you guys tuning in.